What is the true nature of reality? What are we forgetting?
Well, that's a good question. And I think our nature is to come up with a theory, oh, reality is this or that. And well, one part of that reality is that your mind came up with a theory about reality. But is that reality? Well, it's reality in fact that it came up with a theory about it. But the key being is to look again, that it's something that you just need to look again at it. And these traditions of yoga and contemplation are always saying it's more amazing than you think, so look again. And even if you come up with a great theory, reality is impermanent. And wait a minute, what do you mean by that? Is impermanence the reality? And then what does that look like? And your mind tries to make a permanent little shell for impermanence. And it's kind of funny in its attempt. And the fun is, it's called vichara in Sanskrit, which means to inquire, or look again, basically. And watching one's own mind do that is quite interesting.
Yeah, that'll keep you busy for a month or so.
What is reality? Or other questions like, who am I? Or who are you? No, who are you really? And who am I really? Or what is this? No, what really is this? And there are all kinds of ways you can phrase that question.
And it's important to come up with these ideas about what reality is, to be able to say, well, reality is, seeing what's arising in the present moment. And then you have something to be able to look again at more closely. And so we do this process with anything where we, hear it and name it as a bird chirping, and then we solidify it, and then we ignore it. So it's not bad to hear a bird chirping and then say, oh, that's a bird chirping, and then to listen again and either make more conclusions about it or listen to it in context of some bigger sound or whatever. And that's just an example of what you can do with everything that comes up before you. So it's important, really important, to wake up to these moments and to be discerning and to define and to draw conclusions and be engaged. But it's equally important to carefully and with a great deal of inquisitiveness set it down, not jettison it, set it down like you would, a petri dish, and look at it and say, what's there, and then look more deeply. And to self-reflect as well, look deeply within your own experience and your own thoughts and feelings related to your experience, and look at them more closely as well, rather than writing those conclusions about who you are and what you believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a phrase that's become famous in the last 50 years or so. You say something and then you say, you know what I mean.
Jelly bean.
Jelly bean, you know what I mean. Okay, and you say, you know who I am. I mean, or who are you? You know what I mean. And because the deeper meaning of like, who are you or what is going on around me is totally inexpressible. But you make these temporary little packages for it out of thoughts and language, and then they don't quite, they kind of get you started, but you can't hold on to them because what you're trying to understand is much more.
Yeah. And if you look at that as an irritating process, that you can't solidify things, then it becomes an irritating process. But if you look at it as something that's very exciting, that the one of the joys in life is that you always are going to be looking again, even, into and through the process of death, if the mind is engaging at that stage where you are, you might have a theory and you're looking again, rather than, oh God, I got to look again. But that's the exciting part. It's always re-arising.
Right. Even what you associate with exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to have to let go of that.
Yeah.
Because the mind is an idolater. It's going to make an idol out of exciting. I want the exciting. And then it'll be totally disappointed because it'll never find. But when we say exciting, you've got to know what I mean by exciting. Not exciting, but exciting. And this is particularly available in times of crisis or stress, sometimes more than in what we call easy times, in which you're kind of resting on, oh, it's all good. But in times of like sickness, death, conflict, quarantine, sometimes it's because the mind is working on a deeper level in relation to the body, a deeper anxiety.
So we're out of
The
habitual
you're out
ways
of your habits,
of dealing with things. So there are little gaps in the samsaric loops that we like to entangle ourselves in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see those gaps, you can kind of pause and look more deeply.
And anything you think of, when we say gap, that's not a gap. You got to find. So the idea gap and a gap are not exactly the same.
That's true.
Or
There's
are
a
they?
gap between them.
Or are they? Wait a minute. And the fact that it's this funny, it's like a puzzle, and you become like a kid again. These amazing, fun puzzles, and welcome.